Sam Heughan, the man of many secrets. A portrait through Caitríona Balfe's words. To millions of viewers around the world, Sam Heughan is the perfect embodiment of Jamie Fraser, strong, loyal, romantic, and noble. But to Caitríona Balfe, who has spent over a decade working alongside him in Outlander, Sam is something far more complex. A mystery, a quiet soul, a man full of secrets. In a rare behind-the-scenes conversation, Caitríona opened up about her longtime co-star, not as a celebrity or fan favorite, but as a deeply private individual. Sam is a man of many secrets, she began. Not in a negative way. He simply has an inner world that very few people are allowed to see. Throughout the years of filming, from the icy hills of Scotland in the early seasons to the intense, high-pressure days of the later ones, Caitríona observed a consistent pattern in Sam. While most cast members would chat, laugh, and decompress between scenes, Sam would often quietly disappear. He could walk for hours, regardless of the weather. Into the woods, up into the hills, sometimes just to sit in the rain. Sam finds peace in solitude. He doesn't need noise or attention, he needs space. Beyond his love of nature, Sam also lives a rich inner life. He reads often, writes constantly, and carries small notebooks where he jots down thoughts, reflections, and emotional impressions. I once saw one of his notebooks. The handwriting was raw, messy, but the content, it was poetic. Honest. I read a few lines and just stood there in silence. There's a whole other side to him that the public never sees. What Caitríona admires most is not Sam's fame or screen presence, but his quiet discipline and the standards he sets for himself. Despite his success, he still doubts himself. There are days when everyone is thrilled with a scene, and Sam will walk away asking, "Did I give it everything?" He holds himself to a higher standard than anyone else ever could. When asked about their personal relationship, Caitríona smiled, a smile full of history and unspoken understanding. "We don't need to define what we are. We've grown together, leaned on each other through success, exhaustion, grief, and joy. There's a deep bond between us, and it goes beyond labels." Though fans have long hoped they would become a couple off-screen, Caitríona believes that deep connection doesn't always require romance. "Sam is a friend, a companion, a constant in my life. But he remains, even after all these years, something of a mystery, and maybe that's exactly what makes him so special." To Caitríona Balfe, Sam Heughan is the kind of man whose silence speaks volumes. A man whose charm is not only in his looks or talent, but in the quiet parts of himself that he chooses not to share. Some people, the more you know them, the more you realize how much there is left to discover. Sam is one of those people. Sam Heughan may live much of his life in the public eye, but as Caitríona reminds us, his truest self lives in the quiet, in the solitude, and in the pages of notebooks no one else will ever read.